Okay. Welcome to the Swine Brothers Show, episode 137 for the 22nd of January, 2018. You can email us at cosmicgodsdie at gmail.com if you wish to get in contact with us. Facebook is Swine Brothers and Twitter is SwineBros666. Good luck with that. I am your host, Ellie Lindemann. My co-host is...
I am the Jim. I just do shit.
Yes, we were going to do this during the government shutdown. However, we didn't do it, and now the shutdown's over.
Oh, God damn it.
But the good thing is, apparently the thing that was imposed has enough funding to keep the government active for about 3 more weeks.
Yay, 3 more weeks. Fuck the government.
So after that...
I just thought it was funny, like people are supposed to be anarchists crying, oh my God, the government shut down, what are we going to do? You're a fucking anarchist. You should be celebrating.
Or the small government conservatives talking about this is as small as we can make the government work right now.
Exactly. It's like, fuck. Come on.
Yes, I thought it was hilarious. But let's start off, shall we, as I take a swig of coffee.
First the sad news. Former Judas Priest drummer Dave Holland dies at age 69.
You know, he loved the boys a little too much.
Maybe. Former Judas Priest drummer Dave Holland, who played on all of their crucial 1980s albums, has passed away at age 69. No cause of death has been revealed as publishing of this article.
A lot of people say that that's the watered down albums. I like some of them, but like Turbo and shit like that, it's a little watered down.
Yeah. Dave was the drummer in Priest from 79 till 89 when he exited the band and was replaced by current drummer Scott Travis. Holland is the second longest standing drummer in the band besides Travis. Holland had a storied career in rock and heavy metal until a conviction in 2016 for attempted rape, indecent assault, and child endangerment led to his imprisonment until 2012. Holland maintained his innocence in the matter until his death.
Yes, that was whenever we were back in the old puke days, we used to make jokes about do you like Judas Priest? Oh, I love the boys. Not like Dave Holland does.
Mm-hmm. Best remembered for his work at Priest albums such as British Steel, Point of Entry, Screaming for Vengeance, Defenders of the Faith, Turbo, and Ram It Down. All for Columbia Records.
Yes. Some of those were good, some of those not so much.
Yeah. Holland was a key part of the sound of the band, with his driving rhythms and solid new wave of British heavy metal era stick work.
Yes, he was a very good drummer.
Uh-huh.
And it's sad, these rock musicians are dropping like flies. Yeah. Although I keep thinking that most of these people are going, how am I still alive?
Oh God, Lemmy was asking that up until the day he croaked.
Speaking of Lemmy, yeah. What? Well, I was just gonna say, Fast Eddie Clark also died. From Motorhead, the guitarist. It was funny because 6 months before Lemmy died, or actually maybe about 3 months, Eric read a thing to me. Lemmy said, "Please stop asking when I'm gonna die." 3 months later.
He played in many British rock bands in the 1960s, but his claim to fame before Priest came from classic rock legends Trapeze.
It's a random name.
Holland was a leader of Trapeze until the band disbanded and he joined Judas Priest in 79. Holland also worked with original Priest singer Al Atkins, Tony Iommi, Hughes, and Justin Wayward of the Moody Blues, who was an early mentor to him. He was said to be writing a book at the time of his death dealing with his life in music and his imprisonment, including proof of his innocence.
Yes, him and Michael Jackson.
Woohoo!
Glenn Hughes, of course, later in Deep Purple and Black Sabbath. Yeah, sad. I mean, he was a very, very good drummer, but I don't think he had done anything since Priest.
Well, while we're talking about dead musicians, Phil Anselmo on possibility of performing with Dimebag Hologram. It would have to be perfect.
Now, let's full disclosure here. I would not what you would call a Pantera fan. Power Metal was a great album, and every now and then they'd have a song that I didn't utterly despise. Jim likes Far Beyond Driven, an album I can't stand. We need to
Yeah.
review that. I do like a lot of Phil's other projects, more of his Arson Anthem and Scour is more underground. Of course, he was responsible for getting Necrophagia back together, so I can't hate the guy all that much. And I'm not going to focus on his politics, but the hologram
What,
thing.
what politics? He's a drunken slob that just says weird things.
Well, yeah, I'm not,
Just like any other, redneck drunken slob. And then, yeah, power.
he doesn't care, and people want him to care. But this hologram thing is just is. Have you actually seen the pictures of the Dio hologram? Apparently, it looks like a zombie.
Probably.
I don't get it.
Metal Wannies Jesse David recently conducted an interview with former Pantera and current Down and Superjoint frontman Phil Anselmo on the possibility of a hypothetical Pantera reunion with Zakk Wylde, Ozzy Osbourne, Black Label Society, or Kerry King, Slayer, filling in the late Dimebag Darrell on guitar.
Well, Vinny still hates him, so.
Yay. To me, the most important factor in all of this hoopla are the fans. The fans, hands down. The band doesn't choose the audience. It's the other way around. So we're working hand in hand here. Whatever the fans really want, I guess, would be my answer to the whole thing. And I'm sure that it's a flip of the coin depending upon the fan. If it's something they wanted desperately, then it's something that, sure, I would do it. But it would be for the fans, man. Everybody has their opinion.
Well, my personal opinion is I think what should happen is the Dimebag hologram should go shoot Vinnie Paul so he could join his brother. But hey, and we've just lost every fan we have.
So it makes it really, really tough for me to gauge the importance of doing something of that magnitude. That magnitude. Going on the stage with a hologram. Me and my friends are gem girls. Gem is my name. Okay.
I don't want to know.
You would have been alive in the 80s. And then have to sit through that just to get to the fucking genocidal robot war that was Robotech. Which, yes, Macross is fucking hands down better. Getting a decent dub or sub of that, but, And I didn't really like what they did with the fucking second generation thing.
I've heard of Robotech, though.
Yes, but I had to sit through Gem and the holograms just to get to it because if I moved away from the TV, Dad would turn on golf.
That's awesome. Okay.
So I had to sit through this girly show, which actually wasn't as bad as like you would think. It actually had some interesting moments because like the fucking punk band always literally like there was attempted murder. They literally committed arson. They did all this shit and they always got away with it. It's like what you thought a punk band should be. Always rooted for the Misfits, not to be confused with the Misfits.
Yes, okay. Now that you say the name, I actually know what you're talking about. Yes, but
oh god. Gosh, yes.
gotta love 80s television.
Because yes, it would be a big deal. It would be big, man. It would be emotionally big is what I'm getting at. I'm not talking about the size of shows. I'm not talking about the impact or anything like that. I'm talking about actually going out on stage with the band, the backdrop just giant reading Pantera, not seeing my brother Dimebag across from me on that stage, It would be absolutely. It seems invalid to me right now. I'm not seeing it. I'll admit it. I'm straight up torn. I'm confused on the topic.
He took 5 minutes to say, "I don't know."
It would have to be right. I think everybody's heart would have to be in the right place, and I'm talking about the guys in the band, and it would have to be done right. There's no way we could skimp on something like that. I mean, if we're going to do a hologram of Dimebag, it would have to be flawless, and it would have to be perfect, just like he was every fucking night, man. No matter
Mm,
how piss-ass drunk he would be, once that guitar was on in his hand, he was a machine, man. So it would have to be perfect.
I don't know. I've heard him fuck up many times in the live recording. I know. Okay, holograms. So you have a CD, MP3, whatever, of the song, and you have an image miming along to the song, such as the Dio hologram. But as Randy from Randy Buttsex, that guy Dirt Road Randy, as he said, doesn't that sort of take away from why you go to see a show, spontaneity and like hearing a different version or hearing what did you said about Typo Negative? You said they sounded like they were playing the exact same song as heard
On
on
the
the
album.
CD. When I saw Disturbed live, yes, I saw Disturbed live. Ha ha ha. They sounded exactly like they were playing on the CD. It sounded like a greatest hits album, like with a little between song talking. It was there
Meanwhile,
was
you go
nothing.
see Guar, and it's like, Idris, I really think what you're doing is wrong here. Come on, Herb, ride Little Pony. No, I agree with Beefcake on this one, man. What? This is too much. This is too much. This is a child, man. Shut up.
I just love. Come on, ride the little pony. But
Exactly.
or you go see like let's say a punk show. Well, we played half of this song. I don't remember the other half. Let's go to the next song. Fuck it. Let's do a blues song about not having any beer just because.
Yeah.
It's just or I mean or fucking like I mean Slayer is sort of like although Slayer does change their set list up, but I like bands that and I like bands that do fuck up a little bit. I mean not like Metallica as in James' Voice's shop, but I mean like you fucked up in the bridge there. Ha 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 ha. That's one of the good things about going to see the band NoFX. I don't really like NoFX anymore, but going to see them was fun because of the onstage banter they had between the three members with microphones. It was you fucked up in the bridge there. Well,
Yeah, exactly.
it was funny because Fat Mike the singer he went on stage, he stopped, he read someone's shirt and like looked at him all serious like you just wasted 10 seconds of the set, asshole. It was hilarious if you're drunk.
We'll do some shows. I gotta say it, man. I got one more, and I want to say minor, but I guess there's no such thing as minor back surgery. But I've got one more tiny procedure to do, and I'm kind of on a waiting list for that right now. But I am getting in to see my surgeon next week, so hopefully we can speed this process up. Because honestly, it's non-evasive. It's an outpatient type thing. If they can clean up this one little spot, I'll be feeling like $1,000,000. It'll make me better.
When I showed this story to Jenny, she said, "So when Jim dies, are you just gonna have a hologram with like his best known quotes on the show?" And and she said Jim in the hologram rather than Jem in the holograms.
Oh God. Beautiful. Yay, I'd be the hologram. I'd be the Dean Domino. I'm going to make your head blow up if you don't do what I say. Good, we're in agreement.
Go boom.
Great, you're an idiot. Let me say this in words you'll understand. Stand up, go boom, big mess on wall.
I felt bad for having to kill him, but
Mhm.
I had to.
He needed to be ingested.
We needed to eat his awesome.
Mm-hmm. So we're kind of waiting on that to happen before we commit to anything definite. So I got a little obstacle in front of me, but that always makes me feel, I guess, more traveled and stronger at the end of the day. So hey, everything happens for a reason. I just love this picture.
How stoned does he look?
Oh, so very. So
The
very.
way he talks now is hilarious. Eric thought you had a stoned voice. I'm like, no. Here's Phil Anselmo. Well, you know what I think. It was a great band. Dimebag was great. He's so fucking slow these days.
Mm. By your request, Mystifier, Black National Socialists and Cannibals.
I read this, and Death Metal Underground pretty much exists to annoy me these days. This is from a couple of years back. First of all, the interview is hilarious. The guy's probably drunk, and his response, summaries of the things are hilarious.
Brazilian black metal band Mystifier outed themselves as avowed socialists, black supremacists, and evolution deniers in an unpublished interview from 1999 posted years ago to the Nuclear War Now forum by the interviewer Werewolf.
All right, so this is 2018. 1999 was almost 20 years ago. Do you think people haven't mellowed and changed in 20 years?
Oh God, we've seen people go Sig Hail to like. Oh God, I was an idiot then.
Yeah. So this is the band's really good. You'll have to struggle through the broken English because they're Brazilians, and but the band's really fucking good, like really bestial black metal. And DMU is fucking the right wing metal sucks.
Mystifier is one of the last non-Nordic originators of the modern black metal still active. Others being Necromentia, Impaled Nazarene, Mortuary Drape, for example. And in July 1999 is the 10th anniversary of Mystifier. What has changed in black death metal in those 10 years Mystifier has been around?
Yes, and here comes the broken English.
Years ago, we fought for a decent underground metal scene free from racism, capitalism, prejudice, ignorance, and so on. Nowadays, the scene is infected with racist politics, enviers, liars, Nazi ones, etc. What a shame. But I try to do my part for myself, and I don't believe in the youth of today.
That was a bit of a shock when black metal did, because the metal sort of in the 80s, the metal scene was very sort of non-political or left, but mainly non-political or just general right wing. All of a sudden, you had the black metal scene. It was like, wait, you guys are actually like racists? What the fuck?
Uh-huh.
I mean, you had the sort of r.i.p punk thing, but that was sort of a parallel universe.
Yeah. I don't believe in the youth of today. They are feeble-minded ones. Yes, they are.
Yes.
Bands like Graveland, Burzum, and others are a menace for our underground metal scene.
Well, I actually quite like them, but whatever.
Menace might be a good thing.
Yes.
Get rid of those weak ones. The feeble-minded ones. If they live around Brazil, they would be dead. They are gothic babies. Soon they will leave their masks fall down, and they will turn their back to metal scene, and they will blaspheme against us. The metal masters, the few, the proud.
Well, yeah, Varg kind of did that. he's making ambient now. Actually, he's not even making music anymore. He's too busy with his goddamn role playing game and making random videos where he talks about how he's the savior of the white race.
Yeah. So that was true in part of Varg. Yep. He turned his back on everything. Fuck him.
Bob Darkin still plays metal though. He's still into it.
Mm.
He's just really into medieval reenactments as well.
How old were you in '89? And what was the reaction of people when they got to know that you were playing black death metal? Were there a lot of people into music like you were? We were around 17 to 19 years old, and we played for about 50 to 100 people around Brazil in that time. We were few, but we were strong and conscious ones. We fought against punks and skinheads. Ah, the old wars.
Well, yeah, punks hated metalheads at that time.
Yep.
Nowadays, the fucking scenes are indistinguishable. Although you'll still find the occasional metalhead who hates punk, but they're usually people who think that, you know, anything that's not like brain drill is just too simple for them.
Yeah. Nowadays, the punks are our friends and the skinheads are dead. I like dead people.
Usually, yeah, the skinheads end up dead.
A lot of people feared us due to our violence against our antagonists. Well, you should. Anyone that fucking comes up and tries to disrupt your shit, beat the shit out of them. Yeah.
Yes, sometimes a little bit too much, but hey.
An eye for an eye, and you go punch me in the face. I lob a hand grenade at your family.
That's not an eye for an eye. That's well, we said an eye for an eye. We took many eyes.
Yes, and some guts too.
Guts.
A German guy friend of mine told me that many black metal guys of today are afraid of are afraid to face the skinheads there. Chickens. Oh, where's the attitude? I told them they should call the god of cowardice, the so-called Odin's disciple, Lady Vergarnis, that bad girl who sings and burrs them, to help them because he specialized on to stab men in their back. Ha 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 ha.
Actually, it was their chest and.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't always agree with what this guy says, but I just love how he says it. For some reason, broken English just makes things sound even more like violent and evil.
Yeah. What do you think of the following bands? Goat Penis? Ah, these guys are comics. They remind me of those Nazi Gothic wimps who are coming from Scandinavian. Years ago, they played a grinding shitty crossover a la Napalm Death, Carcass, SOD, and Anthrax. When they read
Anthrax
that,
is grindcore now. I didn't know. I didn't know Anthrax is grindcore.
Attack of the Killer Bees, man.
Caught in a mush.
When they read that bullshit capitalistic magazine with Euronymous and his children speaking an amount of shit, they became Nazi black metal band. Really, Hitler can lick up their ass and fuck them. I love it.
DMU was offended by this guy.
Huh?
DMU was offended by this guy.
Yeah, really. Now they are playing industrial music and blaspheming against our extreme metal music. Ah, fuck off, assholes.
Which is weird because I have the Goat Penis discography and I didn't hear any industrial. So maybe they just never released it, but they play a sort of black death thrash. You know, that South American sound that sounds like it's recorded with the 10th generation cassette tape and it's dirty as hell.
Graveland. Ah ha ha. Please stop, man. I'll die with your jokes. Really. Hitler failed when March over Poland because any Polish bitch was raped by an Aryan Nazi soldier and gave birth to one of those wimps who plays in this crap band.
just I mean, if you're gonna be like a socialist or whatever, talk like this.
Read it. It seems to me that nothing would be more foolish than to reestablish the worship of Wotan. Our old mythology ceased to be viable when Christianity implanted itself. Beware, you may be taken by force to a concentration camp. Ah ha 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 ha.
I mean, I'm not a pagan, but I see why people embrace stuff like that.
You've stated that you dislike bands like Burzum and Graveland, which have some views and beliefs strongly connected to fascism and even directly National Socialism. Is there any space for thoughts like that in the head of a black metal musician? Well, we are free in this world to do what we want to. They are white and I am black. If they think I am inferior or stupid because I am black, well, I hope for their health they stay far away from me as possible from me.
I love the summaries. The what was it? Mystify reveals themselves to be black racists or whatever. It's like all they're saying is "Don't touch me."
I am a pacifist, but if the person offends me or cross my way with stupidity, well, you know those things, an eye for an eye. My problem is that I want to war against racist ones, Nazi ones, capitalist ones, and politic ones. Many Brazilian racist ones are afraid of me. Really, I hate the kind of people, and that they shall hate me too. About the question, if there is space for thoughts like that in the head of black metal musician, oh yeah, the one that they should have in the ass, and they have in the head. It is normal, mainly if it came from Scandinavia.
I love the way this guy he's not subtle about anything.
Mm-hmm. If I am not completely mistaken, you are of African descent, right? Has this been a problem in any cases concerning the style of music you're in? Some Norwegian magazines stated some years ago that Mystifier would be one of the most false bands because you were not white. What?
Which is interesting because Euronymous liked Mystifier and actually hyped them up, and now that he's dead, they talk shit on him.
Mm,
Which I can sort of understand, seeing is what Scandinavian black metal's become with Dimmu Shitburger.
yeah. What do you say about this? Norwegian magazines are not authorities to speak on extreme metal music, death metal, doom metal, or black metal. Maybe they are authorities to speak about new wave, like that bullshit called Aha.
That's not nice.
That's cruel and inhumane. I love it. What original style of music did Norwegian musicians create? Black metal? Sorry, no. Norway has not had any metal tradition. Maybe we can mention some great Norwegian ancient black metal cults like the Aberrant. Where's that fucking hooded guy called the Cultist? He isn't a Nazi or racist, I guess.
I just love that fucking hooded guy called a cultist. Just the way that's written is just.
They had produced a fantastic black metal music with heavy metal parts done, well done arrangements and vocal lines. They weren't Bathory or Venom clones like their fellow countrymen.
That's not fair.
Ask to that teenager who said we are the most false band. Ah, what a audacity! Blah.
If you're wondering why the English here seems to be so broken, that's not Jim. That's how it's written.
Yeah. If he knew bands like Volcano, Brazil, The Abhorrent, Dead Conspiracy, USA, Mutilator, Brazil, Malfeasor, USA, Necrophagia, Brazil, Hell House, USA, Expulsor, Brazil, Sorcery, Sweden, Sex Trash, Brazil, Demoncy, Finland, Invoker, Brazil, or Damnation, Canadian. But if you ask him about trendy bands like Burzum, Graveland, Cradle of Filth, Mayhem, and so on, he knows.
Comparing Burzum and Mayhem to Cradle of Filth, I have to admit is a little bit like I'll
Yeah.
even defend Cradle, but they're not Burzum. They never invented anything. And by the way, all those bands that he just listed are quite fantastic.
Do you accept racism if it is backed with reasonable arguments? Is Brazil a racist country? No, I don't. Reasonable? What is reasonable for you? To do a concentration field and obligate the women to do sex with the strongest men to continue pure race? To enslave the weak ones and to kill the people who think differently from you? It can be good for the European youth.
Isn't that what that robot thought in Magical Diary?
Yeah. But for us, the young ones from the rest of the world, that is very little. We want more. We want to change the world, liberate it all from the diseases originating of the capitalism, Catholicism, Christianity, etc. A world without walls for the youth. Yes, Brazil is a racist country too. There are many German, Spanish, Italian descendants here. I don't know what they are doing here. I hate them. They brought that plague from Europe. One of my goals in life is to send them back to Europe. Oh, just like fucking. How many
Well,
people want to send the Africans
that's
back
what
to Africa?
DMU.
What the hell? I love it.
That's what DMU said. They're not non-white racist or whatever. But also you have to understand that part of black metal's thing is being as fucking extreme as possible. That was part of their thing back in the early 90s. So perhaps it's rhetoric to try to be the most extreme. Here's how extreme I am. I want to send all the whites away from Brazil.
Oh, God. Darwin was great in his theories about the evolution and natural selection, but he failed about that survival of the fittest. Don't exist any superior people to gain wealth and power. They fall down of the imperialism was the proof. If you think you are superior because you are from a pure race, I will attack you, kill you, and devour your flesh with survivors from your persecution.
But of course, to the ever offended death metal underground, that means they're cannibals and they want to eat white people because death metal underground are just as reactionary as metal sucks.
Yeah, there we go. Really, evolution is key for our existence in this earthly paradise.
But apparently they're evolution deniers.
Yeah. But if you think any god keeps all the secrets about our existences, you are a meek and cannot inherit the earthly paradise. Go back. Mr. Fire disparaging others as Nazis while advocating attacks on those as they view as racially impure, anti-capitalism, criticism of Christianity as emasculating, and the seizure of the subhumans' land to benefit their own master race show that the band has highest order hypocrites.
Which death metal underground are not hypocrites at all because no wait, they're the biggest hypocrites I've ever met.
Yeah.
It's funny because now Scott has even begun to because he was a huge chant. Like I got into if we were talking, it'd be like blood curdling arguments with Scott about how no death metal underground are fucking morons, but he's actually got around to yeah, maybe these guys are just stupid. I mean, I like some of them, but just it's the way, and I get it. A lot of it is sort of a reaction against metal sucks, but why do you want to become what you hate?
Okay, Slayer announced final world tour.
Yes, it is a sad day for all of us.
It would appear that after 35 years, Slayer is calling it quits, or at least retiring from touring. No dates have been announced yet, but the band did release the below teaser video. My mind is blown, and I didn't think we'd ever see the day, even if Tom Araya kept hinting at it. Of course, some of us think it hasn't really been Slayer for some time. Still, this is wow. Honestly, good to go out on a fucking high note. No abhorrent albums.
I mean, the people who say no Jeff, no Slayer, Jeff didn't quit the band. He died. Okay, you can't help people dying, and the band felt like they needed to carry on. Jeff felt like they needed, the band felt like that it was the best thing to do to carry on. Fine, good on them. They didn't get a 19-year-old. They got Gary from Exodus, one of their closest friends.
Yeah, and the whole thing is this, I'd rather them do this than pull a fucking Metallica or Megadeth or something like that where they start releasing suck albums. Then they try to go back to their roots, and it never sounds the same.
It will be interesting to see if Slayer's actually retiring or if they're just retiring from, like, say, full-time touring, and, like, they'll play, every now and then they'll do, like, let's say, like
festival. One-shot festival, boom, done, deal.
Or maybe, we don't know they're getting older, and, Satyricon, a band I hate, is doing their final North American tour, but they're not retiring. They're just not going to play in the States anymore, mostly because they have problems getting into the States because Frost keeps going to prison. Yeah, when you have a criminal record, it's kind of hard.
All right. Well, we got done with all that news. Let's move on to something we can shit on. 10 metal bands that have never made a bad album. Slayer is one. Iron Maiden is another.
Okay, Slayer, Iron Maiden, Sodom, Overkill. Now, I'm saying bands who've done more than 4. Well, does Bound for Glory count because they started out punk, but they're metal now?
Yeah, I'd say they count.
Okay, that's 5. Hang on, I'm gonna do this fucking list. Okay, that's Anvil. I like all of Anvil's stuff.
I'm not familiar with Anvil.
It's like Iron Maiden-esque heavy metal. They never put out a bad album because they've never deviated from their Cannibal Corpse.
How could I forget that?
Deicide.
I'd be as bold to say that Gwar has not done a bad album.
Grave. That's 10. I was gonna say Unleashed too. Hell, I could do 50 bands who've never released a bad album, and it's not that I just have, it's not that he doesn't have very big taste. That's 50 bands over 2,000 that I have. That's not even like a 20th. You know what I mean?
I am going to spare you what this picture is because the picture itself states they have no concept of what metal is.
We're not going. Well, we can if you want to, but I don't feel like reading everything he said.
Nah, but the picture is of Slipknot.
Yeah,
Slipknot's not metal; it's alt rock.
Just read the opening.
New metal is a branding of alt rock to fucking try to siphon funds off the fucking metalheads by making people think it's metal, but metalheads know better.
I want you to read the opening, though.
Well, it may pain some of us to admit, a lot of our favorite metal bands have made at least one irredeemable stinker album. Metallica has Saint Anger. Only Saint Anger.
Not
only Saint Anger. No Load, no Reload.
I mean, the past 2 albums have had decent moments, but 10 minutes maximum in a 74-minute album is not decent. Is not a good album.
Megadeth has Risk. Yeah.
Only Risk?
Yeah, only Risk.
Like a super collider.
Iron Maiden has No Prayer for the Dying. How the fuck do you say that that's a bad album?
See, I'll say it's less good, but I liked it. I mean, okay, I get it was sort of a failed experiment, kind of going back to the roots type thing, but I don't know. It wasn't as bad as people think it is.
Slayer has Diablos and Music Up.
That was groove done right.
Yes.
You'll never find I hate groove metal, but even I rock out to that.
Black Sabbath has everything it did in the 90s. Really?
What the Tire? Fucking Headless Cross? I mean, even Forbidden.
Wait. I get it now. Okay, they mentioned the 2 things that all metalheads bitch about, but then because they have no concept of metal itself, they start bitching about things that are actually decent.
I mean, Black Sabbath
Because they don't understand metal. Okay.
in the 90s was fucking fantastic. Tony Martin and all those. But it's no Ozzy, no Sabbath. Ugh, fucking pieces of filth.
Yeah, poser shit.
I love 90s Sabbath. Even Forbidden, which wasn't amazing, was still pretty damn good. And then, of course, they reunited with Ozzy and look.
But what about those bands with the perfect streak?
Like Iron Maiden and Slayer.
Yeah, Iron Maiden, Slayer, yeah.
Unleashed.
I still can't get over the fact that it's fucking Slipknot on the cover. It's alt rock, not metal. Just because they call it new metal doesn't mean it's metal.
The best part is Slipknot describes himself as, quote, metal. I love that. I love that noise. Just
No. You're like Nirvana if they over distorted their guitars and threw in like rap synthesizers and shit.
And Kurt Cobain stubbed his toe and cried.
Yeah.
Before he shot himself.
These are the bands that we will be recognizing for their unyielding craftsmanship here today. You've got Slipknot on the cover. You call that craftsmanship? I like fucking 3 songs by them. 3.
You know what? There was a song I liked by Slipknot. It was the last song on the album that we reviewed. You know why I liked it, Jim?
It was the last song.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even the songs I like, I don't even like them that much. Fuck.
I do like the fast one they did just because it was fast, not mid-pace. Like,
oh my god,
you can actually go...
No, you have to hear this. From arena filling titans like System of a Down, who is not metal.
They don't even consider themselves metal.
To cult mavens like Atheist.
Okay, they're actually metal.
I'm
metal. Not a big fan of Atheist, but they're actually metal.
Yeah. Okay, so you mentioned why? Oh, God. No stone will be left unturned in this quest for hard rocking perfection. Well, that's where you're attacking it wrong. You think it's just hard rock.
And now the 10 bands who have never released an album. The bad album, according to Matt Mills from Metal Hammer. And whatever the fuck the site's called. I forgot.
This is called What Culture? So
yeah, I forgot. I don't care. But he also writes for Metal Hammer.
Conspiracy. I never heard of them.
Cavalier Conspiracy is the band of Max and Igor from Sepultura after 12 years. I have to say they've never really released a bad album, but they've never really released anything that's mind-blowing. You've heard Chaos AD, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Picture basically a modern Chaos AD with more death metal. It's actually not bad. Like, pretty damn good. But it's just not mind-blowing.
Okay. Tool? You consider Tool metal?
Doesn't even consider themselves metal. If you ask them, they won't even... Because they have some, like, distorted riffs every now and then, but they're a fucking prog band.
Yeah. What the fuck? You think that...
I'll even, like... Even when I listened to Tool back in the day, I never considered them metal.
Oh, God. System of a Down. And we just got done saying they're not metal.
I used to like System of a Down.
I love that picture. It's like, oh, please, get that cock out of my ass. I don't like prison rape. I mean, it'd be so much better if I was gay, but I'm not. Get the cock out of my ass.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, I used to like System of a Down, but I was 12, so. Yeah, they're not metal. They're not. I mean, now when I listen to them, I'm like, so that one guy thinks he's the Beatles, and the other guy thinks he's, I don't know what the fuck Serge Tankian thinks he is, but he has a weird voice.
Atheist.
Now, I don't really care for Atheists. They're a little too jazzy and proggy for my taste, but I love their old death metal days as R.A.V.A.G. Ravage. Raging atheists vowing a gory end.
Mm.
They're probably the best band on this list so far, but I've never. Death Angel, their first album was good. Actually, the first album was damn good. Next two were, well, second one was weird. Third album was the Black Album, a year before the Black Album. Next five were just kind of generic. So they were meh.
Meh. Slipknot!
I guess if you like that kind of thing, but I don't happen to like that kind of thing.
I'm not into alt rock.
I even saw them live and I thought they sucked. Like even when I was into them, I was like, "Wow, they spent so much time lighting off pyrotechnics and they forgot how to play."
Yeah, really. Gojira, number 4.
All you need to know about Gojira is sort of they sound like indie rock meets death metal. Like they're supposed to be this like they're progressive death metal but with groove, and they sound like indie rock, and they have the guy from Whale Wars who does guest vocals, and yeah, probably the best band on Roadrunner. What?
The sound isn't meshing well in my head.
They're probably the best band on Roadrunner Records, but that's not saying much.
Oh god. Emperor.
I didn't like the last album, but other than that, yeah, they pretty much solid straight through. Pretty, black metal. Although I thought the last album was fucking pretentious.
Overkill.
Yeah, that one I'll agree with. They and Slayer do groove metal right. In the '90s, Overkill had the groove metal thing, but I think they did it right, and they're always fucking solid, just rock solid.
Death.
Well, you know what? I agree. If they stopped after Spiritual Healing, I would have said, Spiritual Healing does kind of show signs of the decline, but I'm glad they stopped. Unfortunately, my fantasy world doesn't mesh with reality.
No, it doesn't.
And they released 4 more albums that were fucking. For those of you who haven't heard like later year Death, people who are stupid, or maybe Josephine who doesn't know anything about metal, picture bad progressive metal with, let's say, Jim after he's been kicked in the nuts about 50 times screaming.
Yay.
It's the vocalist. It's just, what do you think of me? It's just awful. And those are 10 albums that the 10. I agreed with 1. I agree with 4. In that I like Atheist a little bit. I like Emperor, but I didn't like the last album. Cavalier Conspiracy is a really good mainstream metal band, but they've never blown my mind. And Overkill's amazing.
This metal band apologized for releasing a shirt with a big dick on it.
I was wondering if you were going to put this on.
Yes, I see the dick, but only because you outlined it, because to me, I'd be more focusing on the dark ritual than fucking a phallic image, but hey,
There was a band who did put a dick on their...
dicks? Go ahead.
There was a band who did put a dick on their shirt. It was the queercore band Limp Wrist at my Johnny Puke.
I mean, all it is this darkly... You don't see the face of the guy. He's in a robe that covers everything, and his hands are like pushed together in silent prayer. His arms are down, and the outline of it, it does kind of look like a dick, but...
The best part...
If you're thinking, evil, all you'll see is like, the evil guy chanting.
The best part is, and I guess I understand the difference, but the funny part is Puke wore that shirt, and he's like very, he was straight, but he wore the shirt of Limp Wrist with the penis on the shirt, and he got so much shit for it. Why are you wearing that shirt? But obviously that's different. This is someone who, you had to go looking for it. Someone looked for a dick.
Yeah, someone had to really look for a dick to see a dick, really. I mean, that's the only way I could see it, Maybe if you're not into metal or evil or anything dark imagery at all, that would be the first thing you see. But I just see, some guy in dark prayer about ready to fucking pray for the great old ones to come up and fucking do some shit. Yeah.
As he should be.
Wellington, New Zealand-based Dark Divinity were just trying to create a new shirt, and it ended up being the most publicity the band has ever received.
Yeah, because I never heard of him.
The shirt features typical metal tropes: hooded priest, crows, skulls, and some tentacles. Yep.
Tentacles!
But I guess the artist spent a little too much time on the details. Maybe he should have zoomed out on his illustration, because then he would notice it looked like a big old dirty dick.
Who cares? Just wear it. Fuck it.
Really, if my dick was ever that erect.
I don't want to know, although I have a feeling you're Danamon. Anyway.
So it's been brought to our attention that our t-shirt artwork may or may not resemble male genitalia. This was a genuine cock-up. No member had noticed the resemblance previously, and we can assure you that we weren't trying to pull the wool over anyone's eyes or jerk people around. I believe. Even though I love the way he's wording this.
I love the pun.
If anyone who ordered a shirt feels shafted, we're offering full refunds, so rest assured you will be endowed with your hard-earned money once again. I love you. That's good.
See, I'm not big on apologizing, but if you're gonna do it, just do it that way. Fuck you.
Fuck you. We're gonna have as many cock puns as possible.
It's like that one band who got in trouble at the Warped Tour for making fun of a woman who made jokes about, yes, we're sorry. I was. What was it? I'm sorry. I called a woman a slut. Now I'm gonna go get a blowjob. Yeah, yes. I love just the way it's written here.
Polish government is taking Behemoth's Nurgle to court over T-shirt design.
Must be nice to live in Poland. You're getting fucking persecuted every day.
I like the frozen dead Neanderthal look with fucking death armor, playing guitar. That's good.
That's our new co-host.
Yeah. Back in 2010, Nurgle faced up to 2 years in prison for ripping up a Bible on stage and calling it a book of lies, though ultimately he was let off without any prison time.
Yes, Poland is an extremely Catholic country, and they've taken metal bands to court before. They took Gorgoroth to court under blasphemy laws for having a show in a TV studio that was filmed for a DVD, thanks to Metal Mind Productions, which featured nude crucifixes, was it pig heads, and men and women on crucifixes and things like that, naked. And yeah, it was. They were charged with blasphemy, and ultimately, once again, they got off. But still, Poland is no stranger to persecuting metal bands.
Well, you see the same fate this year. The Polish government is taking Nurgle to court over the design of Behemoth's "The Republic of the Unfaithful" T-shirts, which Polish authorities have deemed allegedly disrespect the White Eagle, which is the Polish coat of arms, a punishable offense in the country.
Gotta love Poland. It's also the home of Nazi metal, so there you go.
All right, taking a look at it. Looks okay. Looks more evil. And that's gay. Okay.
That's gay.
Nurgle, the shirt's designer, Rafał Wetzgerowicz, and another person have been officially charged with disrespecting Poland's national coat of arms, and if convicted may face fines and probations.
Basically, it's just giving Behemoth more publicity.
Well, this is the first thing that hits me after coming back from a relaxing and sunny holiday trip. Me and 2 other dudes are accused of profaning Polish emblem. What a bummer. Piss-driven Poland is trying its best to nail my ass down. An example, I guess. But first thing, it is not a Polish emblem. Second, let's leave those arguments for the court case, which is to begin shortly. Is there limits to their obscurity and blindness? Bring it on.
I think what we need to establish here, because a lot of people don't know, in Poland, unlike, say, the States, Nurgle is not necessarily Behemoth, but Nurgle himself is a very, 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 very well-known public figure. He dated a pop star for about 6 months, and that put him in the paparazzi thing. And that I thought that was hilarious. He finally realized, hey, maybe I don't have anything in common with the pop star. But religious rights groups and freedom of speech groups have been using him as sort of a cause celeb for years now. He's very mainstream in Poland. So people who ordinarily wouldn't pay attention to, say, Dark Fury or whatever, because it's Nurgle's t-shirt. I mean, there are people who've basically made it their life's mission to see him brought to justice. It's sort of weird. We don't have anything quite like that in the States because it's not so much Behemoth that's mainstream. It's Singer. He has a lot of people.
All I gotta say is I'm gonna ship him like some of my second edition Dandy books, which have coats of arms in it that look amazingly like this as well. Showing the world. See, which one is it? Which one is this based off of? Tell me.
So there a lot of religious rights people are looking for any excuse to persecute him. So that's basically what this is about. It's kind of complicated because, like I said, people in the States, we don't have. I mean, the closest thing we had was maybe Marilyn Manson about 17 years ago, and he wasn't even as big as Nurgle is in Poland.
Well, let's have some fun. Since we're talking about fucking religion. Printing company sent gay couple Satan pamphlets for wedding.
See, I'm not gay, but if I got this in the fucking mail, I'd be like, thank you.
When a same-sex couple excitedly opened their wedding programs on the eve of their Pennsylvania ceremony. Ooh, this is even nearby.
Yes. There's a lot of shit from Pennsylvania I could send you right now.
Good. They were horrified by what they found inside the package.
Yes.
Rather than send plaintiffs the custom wedding programs they had purchased, Vistaprint instead sent plaintiffs literature with hateful, discriminatory, and anti-gay messages equating their relationship to Satan's temptation. Dun dun dun. Dun, dun, dun.
Satan's temptation sounds like a fucking food cake, doesn't it? Would you like some Satan's temptation there, Jim?
Yes. According to a new lawsuit targeting the web-based printing company. The plaintiffs, who married at a hillside ceremony in Butler County, PA, in September, added in a statement, "Our goal is to hold Vistaprint accountable for harm they may have caused, and to send a message that there will be consequences for acts of hate perpetuated." But Satan?
Right? It's like, well, if they're saying that, like, Satan leads... Thanks, Satan.
Thank you, Satan. That's
you gave me happiness.
Hansley, 39, and Borg, 31, had ordered 100 blue and gold programs for $79.49. That included the lyrics to their processional song, Treasure, by Above and Beyond. It sounds like pussy rock. You should just get into Satan.
Why isn't your wedding song, I want to fuck your brains out. I want to stick my cock in your mouth.
You know, just have your wedding song changed over to fucking God Hates Us All.
Or no, but Gigi Allen make it like, I'm going to rape you.
This is our first dance. Oh,
I'm going to rape you.
They had gotten engaged on the same day they saw the English electronic dance music group perform Treasure. Oh, God. Why can't these be like the cool gay guys that are like all hardcore and shit? And
Well, like the guys you listen to Limp Wrist, which is a great fucking band, totally hardcore, and they make no secret about the fact that they're gay, and if you don't like it, you can fuck off. Or like fucking, well, he wasn't gay, but Jack Grisham from TSOL, he used to come out in full face of makeup and a dress, and he used to beat up Marines.
Instead, Vistaprint shipped them approximately 80 copies of a discriminatory pamphlet entitled Understanding Temptation, Fight the Good Fight of the Faith. If these are anything like, what the fuck was his name? Jack Chick Tracks?
Have you seen? God. I saw it unspeakably.
The Chick Tracks are like fucking awesome. I fucking laugh every time.
I saw the most vile Chick Track the other day.
What?
I think it was called Little Lisa, and it was basically the synopsis was, guy abuses his little daughter, and then fucking tries to seek help for it. Mom also admits to abusing her daughter, and then they tell the daughter, who's fucking been traumatized for life, it's okay, we found Jesus, we're saved.
I love that.
I need to send you a copy because I'm missing out some stuff. It was horror. I mean, most of his Chick Tracks.
It's always horrid. Okay, we're talking Chick Tracks here. Come on, but the levels it goes to is just humorous.
I can send you a synopsis right now.
Ah, fuck. Oh, fuck. I'll find the original and read it to you. Okay. We'll get on that. The pamphlets plainly sent to threaten and attack Mr. Heasley and Mr. Borg. I love Borg as a name. Because they are gay. Warn that Satan entices your flesh with evil desires. Good. That sounds like fun.
Yes, good.
See, right there. That is the sentence right there. Satan entices your flesh with evil desires. That's all
right.
I'm not even a Satanist, but I agree that that's a good thing.
And I'm a Satanist, and I agree that it's a good thing.
Yes. The betrothed were both emotionally devastated by Vistaprint's intimidating and discriminatory conduct. Oh, that's bullshit. You're pussies. Come on, why can't you be the cool gay guys that I've known throughout the years that'll fucking beat someone down in the middle of the street screaming, why won't you stop breathing? Because, someone, the wrong person called him a fag. I call them faggots all the time. They're cool with me, but the wrong person called them a fag, and it's, why won't you stop breathing?
Well, exactly. It was funny because I was talking and I was like, yeah, I'm going to spend time with all the, faggots. And that one guy is actually a faggot. I like him.
See?
And he was like, he just laughed and, we got along. But yeah, the other person called him that, he would fucking deck him.
Uh-huh. But seriously, I think I'd be more pissed that you blew like $80 on something and didn't get it. That's what this should be about. We blew $80 on something and it never appeared.
Yeah, but these are electronic music fans, so.
Yeah, they're not going to fucking think like, actual people and actually probably get a better settlement than boo-hoo, you hurt our feelings. Because all this is going to do is get the internet hate mob going, and then that's just going to get, like, less money out of them because the judge is going to say that, like, things happened.
Whereas I'd be like, well, it was...
And you're actually, also going to, and this also martyrs Vistaprint, so they're going to get like a bunch of supporters flipping them money to help them out their legal fees, like those people that refuse to put up the fucking wedding cake. I
mean, in all truth,
they should have gone bankrupt centuries ago, but no, you had to go to court over it and turn them into martyrs.
I mean, in all truth, Vistaprint should never have done that. I mean,
in all truth, they should have never done that. That's horrible business.
I'm different when it comes because the people who wouldn't make a cake for a gay couple, I didn't agree with their decision, but I said, you know what, it's your decision. If
Yeah,
you don't,
it's a horrible
go
business
find
model,
another.
but you go ahead. But this is like actual, I spent
Discrimination.
money and did not. I don't even care about the discriminatory process. You blew $80 and didn't get what you ordered. In fact, you got the exact opposite of what you ordered.
Which is
Fuck
kind of
you.
awesome.
Fuck you. Where's my money, bitch? That's what this is about. You actually paid money on it.
And if you don't give me your money, I will rape you. And I'm gay, so it's either going to be pleasurable for me or it's not. I don't care. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to be the fucking Vistaprint rapist.
This case presents a particularly egregious example of a company's refusal to provide equal services to members of the LGBTQZRFT
I would
community.
have sent it to anyone. Like fucking like the straight devout Christian people. Hey, but thank God for our wedding. Thanks Satan for killing you. Yes, fucking. I'd send it
Thanks,
to Eddie.
Satan. Yay!
Satan.
Vistaprint would never discriminate against customers for their sexual orientation. We pride ourselves on being a company that celebrates diversity and enables customers all over the world to customize products for their special events.
Unless you're a goddamn faggot.
We have just been made aware of this incident in the last few hours. We understand how upsetting it would be for anyone to receive materials such as these the night before their wedding, and we have immediately launched an internal investigation. So if this is true, then it's the person who pushed the button.
Yeah, it wasn't
And they're going
Vistaprint.
to
It
be
was.
hung by the petards for being a moron. To which I say, touche. That's some good trolling, but you're going to suffer because of it a lot.
Is it really? I mean, the job market's tough, man. Is it really worth being an asshole?
Yeah.
Then again, I was reading about a guy named Frank Discussion from the punk band The Feeders. He got a hold of Arizona School District stationery and printed out a couple thousand. There's an essay prize to kids for writing an essay on why school is a waste of time. He actually ran away for 5 years because he wanted to avoid arrest for that. And kids would send it for why school is a waste of time.
Decades of semen squirting, land offender in state prison.
That was actually what I was about to send you. Yes, thank you. Jim, what the hell have you been up to?
Oh, God. Michael Kevin Morris begins his crimes by silently creeping up to random women.
Ride Little Pony.
The 59-year-old Easton doesn't speak to them or touch them. He throws his semen on them. Like a vial of holy water, but just a vial of semen.
I don't know if you've seen Rendezvous. Yeah, it's Rendezvous with Ragnarok, the Guar video, where the fucking alien sprays Slimenstra with odorous semen.
Oh, yeah, that was
You
great.
got spermed on. Slimenstra just like disgusting.
Uh-huh.
I got it at Walmart.
He's been doing this for decades with, I can only imagine, countless victims. Lehigh County Judge Robert Steinberg said.
Yes, where is Lehigh?
I don't know. Oh, God. But I love this picture of him. He's just like, yep, it's been a good run in life. That's the look on his face for the mug shot. It's just, yep, it's been a good run in life.
Because I know it's in Pennsylvania, which is why.
Oh, God. Oh, that's the face right there.
Is that the mugshot you want to have whenever you get arrested?
Yeah, I know. Oh, God. He pleaded no contest to indecent assault for 3 of his most recent offenses within the past 2 years. Steinberg sentenced him Wednesday to the maximum law by law, a combined 3 to 6 years in state prison. I don't think in all my years of doing this I've seen this type of behavior, the judge said.
I don't think in all my years of living I've seen this type of behavior. I won't throw my semen on you.
I know. The judge estimated Morris had been committing the crime for more than 40 years. He said the crime is so bizarre and perverted, victims and law enforcement haven't known how to react.
I can just imagine. Did I just get thrown? Did
Was I just spermed? If I was a sperm, if I was a sperm, if I was a dun dun dun. I'm out of my mind. Immortal corrupter. Oh, this is just war.
You got spermed on.
Until 2006, no law classified semen throwing as a sex offense.
God bless your state, Jim.
Oh, God.
God bless your state. It's like Arkansas, who didn't have necrophilia as an offense until someone actually dug up a corpse and tried to fuck it.
Yeah, I know. In 1993, for instance, he was charged with simple assault for squirting semen from a perforated condom onto a woman inside a Warren County super. I'm hitting you with a used condom. Fuck.
You know, the more I read, because I don't look for Pennsylvania stories, okay? I just find them. The more I think Pennsylvania, man, is right up there, well, almost right up there with fucking Florida, man. You got some wackos in this state.
I know, it's great. He's also thrown it from small squirt bottles, a prosecutor spray fucking sperm in the air.
I want to know how he gets it in there. Does he masturbate in them, or does he just like?
Does he jerk off a horse? Is it his semen, or is it something that he could get a shit ton of cum from, and just so he could throw it at random?
Or Cartman. I got a lot from this guy he just told me to close my eyes and suck out of a hose.
Yeah. Or is he running around behind dormitories and colleges? Oh, wait, no, they don't have sex anymore. That's right. But back in my day, that's the place you found used condoms a lot. Just out, because they wouldn't even bother throwing away. They throw them out the window for some reason.
Well, now you find them at fucking just around the streets over here.
Morris has been charged repeatedly with disorderly conduct, the judge said. Because the crime hasn't matched the behavior, Morris has evaded the appropriate treatment and punishment, Steinberg said. Quite frankly, this sentence is long overdue. You should have just made up a ruling whenever you could.
Yes.
By pleading no contest, Morris does not admit that he squirted semen. He admits that the prosecutors have enough evidence to convict him of the crimes. The plea is treated the same as a guilty plea for sentencing purposes.
Yes.
According to Steinberg, Morris has struck at supermarkets, shopping malls, and bus stops.
Apparently, this is in eastern Pennsylvania.
Yes. Which is why I don't know the name. Okay. In 2 of the 3 cases he was sentenced for Wednesday, the victim was getting on or getting off a Atlanta bus in Lehigh County. One woman was so traumatized she is afraid to ride public transportation to this day.
I'm afraid I'm going to get spermed again. I won't get spermed.
I know. To be fair, I think that's kind of rational. Just some guy that looks like this runs up to you, goes da-da-da-da-da-da.
I hope that's what he actually said. He looked a little soft.
She describes herself as depressed, emotionally ill, and scarred. That's a bit far.
Well, actually, I have it on good authority. She actually watched an episode of Swine Brothers before the interview. So
Morris apologized by saying, "I'm extremely sorry if I upset or caused any type of anguish," Steinberg asked. Anguish, thank you, Morris said. So he couldn't even think of the word.
I'm too busy planning my next semen throw.
Now in prison. Prosecutors against Morris have stalled in the past when victims couldn't prove the liquid squirted was semen.
Maybe it's mayonnaise.
Victims in the recent cases had the fluid tested and the DNA matched Morris.
It's not mayonnaise. Look up at the sky. You've heard of rape men? This is semen man.
Morris said he would have gone for counseling if he could afford it. Yes, so many things I would do medically if I could afford it. He studied English literature at State University of New York at New York Pulse, but dropped out.
Because he's decided, you know what? Literature's fun, but I'm going to throw my semen at you.
He has run through a string of clerking jobs at supermarkets, convenience stores, and fast food restaurants.
He's basically everyone on this show.
Morris said he turns to semen squirting out of frustration when he's fired from a job.
You're fired. Son of a bitch. A stable man, when fired from a job, quick as a flash, becomes semen man.
He said his urge is triggered by a type of dilemma related to personal problems like a lack of employment or a lack of a future where I can't provide a living for myself or possibly give any assistance to my parents or my siblings.
See now I have this image of, like, rather than just random women, like, his boss stands, you're fired. All of a sudden he, like, produces a fucking spray bottle. What the Are you squirting semen at me?
Morris is a lifetime bachelor.
Well, no shit.
The victim represents some type of authority figure to him. Aww. I wish we had Danamund here. She's been reading a lot of those involuntary celibate types, which are fucked up. I'll have to get some of her articles going. It's like, oh,
I was involuntary celibate, but then I found someone who could put up with me.
Yeah.
It's beautiful when you find people who can put up with you. Mind you, that's kind of hard.
I can't really explain because I haven't been able to delve into it sufficiently.
No,
I got fired. I'm going to throw cum on people.
I have it on good authority that he said, I'm a lifelong bachelor, and the judge deadpan, no shit.
Defense attorney hopes Morris can finally get the treatment he needs to stop offending. But Steinberg and Lay County Deputy District Attorney are skeptical he'll ever be able to stop.
I'm hoping that if the judge finds him guilty, He'll all of a sudden reach into his backpack, pull out like a huge water bottle, just dump it all on his head.
I've never been able to accomplish what I wanted to, and this has manifested itself in the form of low self-esteem.
And what I want to do is throw semen on the world.
I'm not an evil person. Oh, God, that's great.
I want to throw semen on the world. I want to go to Japan and throw semen on them.
Woman makes bizarre pubic hair dress with crotch donations from strangers.
Apparently, she is cute.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to wear someone's pubic hair.
We've heard of styling your pubic hair, but this is bizarre.
Bizarre.
Fashion is ever evolving, and nowadays there is no limit to what people consider stylish. One woman, Sarah Louise Bryan, is pushing those limits even further by creating unique dresses made from bizarre materials, including her latest dress, which is made completely of human pubic hair.
I think I'd rather have the vagina kayak.
Yes. Thanks to the capabilities of Twitter, she received a ton of donations from strangers for this unique dress. I wonder how many people are yanking it knowing someone was going to wear their pubes.
It reminds me of the South Park episode once again where a Carbon buys the pubic hair from Scott Tenorman.
Taken from their crotches and sent to this woman. I wonder how much of it was ass hair.
I wonder how much of it was infected. Here's my pubic hair. It's infected with crabs.
A work of art would soon come to fruition.
You know you can get crabs from a couch.
Yes.
Or carpet, I mean.
Yeah, she's meh. Lovely.
My friend got carpet crabs.
And then she made some sort of candy dress.
It's what she wants to do.
Yeah, whatever.
And if she wants to wear someone's used pubic hair.
Yay. Semen thrower.
Semen thrower.
Yeah. Oh, those were the pictures. And nothing was really there.
Hi, I'm Dennis, or whatever the fuck his name is. I'm a semen thrower.
Teens are eating laundry detergent for the Tide Pod Challenge.
Did you see the one I posted where the guy vaped one?
No, but that sounds awesome.
See, I'm all for this.
Yes, we got to weed out the gene pool somehow.
Yeah. Tide Pods.
The government watchdog is expressing concern over the dangerous misuse of a laundry detergent. Boo! Boo!
I mean, I went to school with teenagers about 6 years ago, and I wouldn't mind if most of them ate some Tide Pods. Hell, I'd force feed it to them if I could.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember hearing stories about when Puke was a kid. Whenever he hated a kid, he used to make him a paint thinner milkshake.
Yay.
That fucked some people up too.
In this latest social media fad, teenagers are putting detergent pods in their mouths in what's being called the Tide Pod Challenge. Oh, God.
Death.
We did as kids. And I see people are saying, oh, I was never this stupid. And then I sit there and like, dude, you remember that time that you tried to fuck a stove?
I see people who say I was never this stupid, and yet I was talking to someone who, back when he was a kid, and he's older than you, so this is a while ago. His idea of fun was to take dynamite and go blow and go blow up what?
Dynamite? Yeah.
Dynamite and go blow up mailboxes. And if the police caught him blowing up mailboxes, they'd say, "All right, that's enough. You go on home now."
Ingredients in the pods include ethanol, hydrogen peroxide, and polymers. A delicious mix of stuff that you want to wipe out dirt and grime, which is exactly why we need to promote the Tide Pod Challenge.
Yes, attention everyone. If you're between the ages of,
I don't care, and who gives a fuck? Just eat a fucking Tide Pod already, god damn it.
Unless you're Jose or Danamon, we actually like you.
Yeah, but anyone else go for it.
Yes, including Anarcha. In fact, if you can go over to his house and force feed him to eat about 12.
About 500, yeah.
Yeah, just.
Yes.
Tell him it's fucking.
Manufacturers have been concerned about toddlers mistakenly ingesting them, but not all teens are popping them on purpose and posting videos of the results online.
Posting videos of the results.
19-year-old Mark Pagan, who did it on a dare, told CBS News he knew better, but did it anyway. Oh, just like drinking a beer bong filled to the brim with vodka. I knew better, but I did it anyway.
As Beefcake the Mighty said, how old are you? Old enough to know better, young enough to do it anyway.
A lot of people were just saying how stupid I was, or why would I be willing to do that, he said. No one should be putting anything like that in their mouths, you know? Yes, you should. You should definitely.
Yes, we encourage you.
Anne Marie Burkle, acting chairman of the Consumer Product Safety Commission, boo, says ingesting any of the liquid carries a deadly risk.
Good.
Boo. No, it doesn't. Do it anyway.
Yes, it's healthy for you.
It's very healthy. It's the healthiest thing. It'll cure all your diseases. All of them.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And you'll
including the disease called life.
Yes, it's such an aberration.
It is.
It's a zombie. And don't you like zombies? Everything's about zombies these days.
I like vampires. Not the romantic ones, though. The evil ones.
Yeah, the ones that actually rip people in half and start drinking their spinal fluid.
See, I wrote a fan fiction about that, but I considered those vampires to be romantic, so people didn't know what to think and call me weird because I wrote, and I thought it was so hot the way she ripped someone's spinal cord out.
This is what started out as a joke on the internet, and now it's just gone too far. No, it hasn't gone far enough.
No, not until I see fucking people on the news eating them.
Oh, yes, we should definitely get the newscasters in on the Tide Pod Challenge.
PewDiePie should eat one.
Yes. A lot of these people should just go out and eat 3 dozen of them now.
After you take 30 hits of acid.
Mm-hmm. And go to that guy that just throws semen on people while you do it.
He shouldn't eat them.
And he just throws semen on people that we don't care for. Like Anarcha. Could you imagine force feeding him this shit and throwing him in there? It's like, oh, I'm going to vomit. He vomits. This guy just goes up with a used condom and beats him over the head with it.
Bam.
The paws are bright and colorful, and to children they could look like candy.
At least
10 deaths have been linked to ingesting these pods.
Yes.
2 were toddlers, 8 were seniors with dementia. Good job.
It's just love because they make medical marijuana gummies now, and I'm just thinking hey, look, come on, can I have some of your special candy?
Procter & Gamble, the makers of Tide, told CBS News they should not be played with, even if meant as a joke. Safety is no laughing matter. Boo.
Don't listen to these people. You know what? These people are evil corporations.
Yes.
And of course, Procter and Gamble are in league with the
They're evil
Illuminati.
corporations that are fucking trying to like hijack the path to curing all your diseases.
Yes,
they're big
Tide
pharma.
Pods.
Procter and Gamble are big pharma. What you should do is do the exact opposite and eat as many of those pods as possible, because that's the only way to maintain your safety. They lie.
And Jim, they're part of the Illuminati. Remember the Procter and Gamble moon logo that the people said was a secret Illuminati symbol? So they're, do you want the Illuminati telling you what to do?
More than 62,000 children under the age of 6 were exposed to laundry and dishwasher detergents between 2013 and 2014.
That would explain a lot.
And then next year, Consumer Reports said it would no longer recommend detergent packets, citing the unique risks while urging the adoption of tougher safety measures. Boo,
No.
safety. Your safety measures make our lives fucking hell.
Just put the Tide Pods into your hamburger. It adds some extra flavor.
Mm-hmm. Do it now.
Yes, do it now, people. Swine Brothers recommends you eating Tide Pods.
Yes.
But please don't film it until you're about to die. We don't want to see your fucking...
I don't care. Film it all. All of it. Every single last moment of your last moments on this planet being sick. Because you'll never be sick again.
Yes, curing all diseases, including that pesky disease called breathing. And then, as Jim said, you'll be reanimated as a zombie.
Yeah, Burkle says her group has worked with manufacturers to make the packets less attractive to children. Making the laundry packet opaque, less attractive, less colorful, reducing toxicity and the strength of laundry detergent. No, don't reduce the strength. Up it by 5 million.
Make it so like if you like smell it, you're dead. You're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Make it so that it just kills most of the population.
The CPSC also found that elderly adults with dementia were confused by the product and have also adjusted it.
I don't know what this is. I'm going to eat it.
Like the guy walking around with a giant piece of shit in his hand going up to the nurse aide saying, "Is this yours?" No. Okay. And he walks with a giant piece of shit in his hand. If I can only if I don't go out in a blaze of glory, at least someone should have a laugh at my expense when I get that bad.
Oh, no, when you start suffering from dementia, however many years, I'm going to put you on Swine Brothers. So, Jim, how are you?
Cheeseburger up the rectum.
He's improved since the last time I talked to him.
Mm-hmm. The danger to little kids is so high that researchers have recommended the parents of children under 6 years old not to buy these at all and instead use regular detergent only.
No, use these for everything. Put Tide Pods on fucking everything. We need to kill children too, babies.
Anyone concerned about the dangers of laundry pods can forget these dangers. They are completely safe and you should eat a lot of them. If you need help, call 1-800-EAT-SHIT or text poison to fuck your mom.
It'd be funny if 1-800-EAT-SHIT was a real number. I'm going to call it. Hello, you've reached the house. Is this 1-800-EAT-SHIT? Oh my god, it actually does spell that, doesn't it?
Chinese think Star Wars The Last Jedi is an insult to intelligence.
I think all Star Wars is an insult to intelligence, but...
No, it's mostly communists heralding it as a great film. So here's actual communists saying it's an insult to intelligence. The poser commies over here are saying it's a great film. The real commies are saying it's an insult to intelligence.
Yeah.
Following it, learn that Star Wars: The Last Jedi tanked big time in China. Now the reasons are trickling out, which mirror a lot of fans worldwide and here in the States.
But
Sixth Tone is a rundown of China's reaction to Star Wars: The Last Jedi, where it's mentioned the Chinese audience weren't at all happy with the movie and think it to be an insult to intelligence.
but Star Wars is an insult to. I mean, I'll say the difference between like a Star Trek fan and a Star Wars fan. A Star Wars fan thinks he's a nerd.
Yeah,
Like there's a little bit in there, but usually Star Wars fans are generally like the people who would actually make fun of normal nerds, but oh, I'm so nerdy. I have the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. I mean, fucking read Dune. Just read it. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, so then listen to Tamerland.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, so Star Wars, it's a blockbuster fucking movie.
It's pointed out that a Chinese popular review site gives Star Wars: The Last Jedi a weak 7.3 based on 43,000 reviews, with the most upvoted review having complained that the whole film really insults the IQ of its audience.
So it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen one Star Wars film, and I've seen about 3, that I didn't think was anything more than trash. I don't think it was quite as.
And the review questions how the universe could possibly be ruled by such an incompetent galactic empire. In Star Wars, it seems only Darth Vader had a brain. It's such a shame he's dead already.
Yeah, I thought that a long time ago. But I thought Darth Vader was fucking sanctimonious as hell, so.
Yes, but he was cool because he just killed you if you didn't please him.
Yes, basically like Kaiser.
Yeah. I'm just fucking with you. God, I love that guy.
That's because all the other legions were so uptight, and Kaiser is just like, nah, just fucking with you.
It's noted that Star Wars: Last Jedi also failed to be among the trending topics on China's Twitter like Weibo social network.
You know, I felt bad for killing him, but.
Mm-hmm. But he had to be consumed, so his flesh will be part of our own. In that sense, he has become immortal.
Yes, Jesus fuck. That's his logic whenever he's tripping on mentats.
Yeah.
Whenever he's not, he's just me eat thing. But whenever he's tripping on mentats, I've suddenly understood.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Jenny fuck understands too much.
Yeah.
So much that she's gone insane.
Uh-huh. She contemplates the void because that's the only thing that's real. Yes. Nothing. Star Wars: The Last Jedi had a measly 28.7 million opening in China, which is a lot lower than Star Wars: The Force Awakens at 52 million, and even lower than the standalone Star Wars Rogue One movie, not part of the trilogies, 30 million.
So many trilogies.
Chinese fans also echo sentiments about the direction of Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker.
I'll always know Mark Hamill is Senator Stampingston. I'm sorry, General Crozier. He's General Crozier.
Wang and Chen both described the new film as visually appealing but riddled with issues such as atypical behavior from established characters. Luke Skywalker was particularly disappointing to Wang, who felt the character's brooding behavior didn't jibe with the resilience and fearless optimism of the young Luke Skywalker.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you get older.
Trilogy.
That's what happens when you get older.
That, like, he was just like, let the Jedi die. After I fought, like, a lot of shit just to keep it going, I'm going to say let it die.
Well, yeah, there's just a point where you have to give up.
Our own review for Star Wars: Last Jedi offered the basics of focused storytelling are being woefully neglected, simply throwing together an amalgam of stuff into the production machine doesn't actually generate everlasting gobstoppers. The Last Jedi's nature as a Frankenstein's monster of corporate mass production, featuring as many politically correct bullet points to be as sellable to as many demographics as possible for their own sake rather than for the sake of the story, is as true as the sun.
So you've
Isn't
just
that pretty much
described every blockbuster movie since time began.
more like every blockbuster movie, yeah, since time began?
I mean, every sort of like cutting edge movie we think of as like cutting edge usually was at least at best moderately successful. But every like blockbuster movie, if you look at it, it's always been, every right off the bat movie has always been shit. Like it's never
A
been.
lot of people really enjoyed The Empire Strikes Back. For one reason and one reason alone: the Empire won.
Ugh. I hated the Empire.
Mm-hmm. Ah, yes.
Just Star Wars. I keep hoping my like Indian friend Jenny will just like swoop down and just murder them all. That's every time I watch a Star Wars movie, I just keep hoping she'll just come on in and just barbecue them all. That's what I hope happens. But yeah, I mean, well, yeah, of course, Luke Skywalker. I mean, the boundless optimism can only get you so far, and then after when the whole boundless optimism thing dries up, you're just like, I am a failure. I'm gonna die now.
This isn't what I want to read here.
I had to cough. Sorry.
That's fine. I can't even think what I wanted one more, and I couldn't remember what the fuck it was.
The man who called the cops saying that his wife was a Black Widow spider would be pretty good.
I don't have it on here.
It's on my Facebook.
I know. I don't feel like going there.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yes, and I don't have it this window open either.
Okay, just give me 2 seconds. God.
Yeah, most of this shit's just political bullshit that I've gotten tired of covering.
Doesn't matter. I know what we're gonna do.
Because really, we have another rich bastard president. How is he different from the others? He's another rich bastard. Ooh, wow, doing what rich bastards do. Really?
Well, yeah. I'm getting less and less into sort of political,
Yeah.
things. Just let me get this story. Let me get this. Okay, got it. I'll post it in the chat.
There's another reason why I don't really feel like going to Facebook while I'm screen sharing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's because I belong to several gore groups, and if some of
There
those
we go.
come up, you will get like booted off for sure.
Oh no, we do gore shit all the time, Scott and I.
Yeah, but the stuff I got's a million times worse than what you get.
If we didn't get booted off because of fucking baby falls off scooter, baby lays in middle of the road, SUV comes along. I posted the thing there.
All right. Florida man drunkenly called 911 to report his wife is a Black Widow spider. A Florida man was arrested on Tuesday for reportedly calling 911 while he was intoxicated to report his wife was a Black Widow spider.
See, to me, that's a little bit more than drunk.
Yeah. Pinellas County deputies were dispatched to a home on Black Rush Drive around 1:36 a.m. after William Rutgers, 61, called 911 to report his wife was a Black Widow spider and request that she be Baker acted. Deputies say that Rutger appeared to be highly intoxicated and was slurring his speech. They could only note that his breath smelled like alcohol and he was unable to express coherent thoughts.
My wife's a spider. Semen throwing.
Black Widow Spider. Before leaving the residence, deputies informed Rutger that 911 is for emergencies only.
This is an emergency. She's a fucking
Despite his
spider.
warning from deputies, Rutger called 911 a second time, less than 2 hours later, to report that his wife was a Black Widow spider. After the second call, Rutger was arrested and charged with misuse of 911.
I didn't know that was a federal. I didn't know that was an offense.
It is. You're tying up fucking actual emergency line.
Yeah, okay, I guess.
Yay. He has been released because he served his time, according to jail records. And Black Widow Spider's back. That's my wife.
I feel bad for that poor. I feel bad for the guy's poor wife, though. I have to deal with this moron every day.
Yeah.
He thinks I'm a spider.
Meet the 19-year-old who spent over $10,000 on microtransactions.
What the fuck?
Yeah, those little free-to-play games ain't so free.
They are when I do them.
Grand. Lovely. I like this guy already.
Sounds my ex played fucking bingo games, and I have no idea how much. Yeah.
At the height of the controversy surrounding the microtransactions in Star Wars Battlefront 2, a Reddit user who goes by the name Kensgold posted an open letter to publisher EA and other developers in the video game industry. I am 19 and addicted to gambling. Good. You should also be addicted to alcohol and a lot of meth.
And hookers.
Hookers. Mm-hmm. Kensgold wasn't talking about roulette tables or online poker. He was talking about spending over $10,000 on in-game purchases over the last several years. Oh, I thought this was over a period of 1 year. That would have been even better.
Someone who's absolutely crazed. He doesn't even go outside anymore. He hasn't bathed. He like shits in a bucket.
Like my father. Only he watched porn.
Yeah, but at least he made grilled cheese sandwiches. Not great, not even edible, but I still love that story about your friend eating your father's sandwiches.
I'm gonna die. It's so painful. You just really had this shit. Kensgold, who had asked that we not use his real name, shared with us bank statements and receipts proving that he had indeed spent $13,525.25 in games like Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Smite, and The Hobbit, Kingdoms of Middle-earth over the past 3 years.
That sounds like an expensive Hobbit. see, because hobby, but I said Hobbit instead.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, fuck you.
Exactly. This post was a plea to people who design and sell games to take note of the effect microtransactions in games can have on the small population of people who are especially susceptible to them. Bullshit. What this should do is serve as a wake-up call saying you shouldn't be blowing over 10 grand in fucking microtransactions on games, getting virtual materials that you'll never see in real life and you have no rights to, and the moment that servers go down, you never get it back.
Maybe it's time to get a life.
I mean, fuck, I got a bunch of shit from The Sims, but I got that shit backed up. I can reinstall it at any time. He includes himself in this group, and while he's legally an adult now, he says the lure of spending money for rewards in his favorite games started when he was only 13.
So I never spend money on anything because I'm a cheap bastard.
Playing Mafia Wars and fucking Vampire Wars, the point-and-click fucking games that, like, you had to have a million friends to do anything on Facebook.
Yes, those are stupid.
The first was a browser city building game. Ken's Gold remembers being similar to Clash of Clans. I think I spent around $30 on it. That ain't so bad. But I was very young and I had actually no income whatsoever. Yeah, and you should have learned this shit you get ain't that good. Or if it's that good, get a job where you can afford spending 13 grand. I mean,
Yes.
fuck, do you think if I blew 13 grand on like LSD and I did it all, that I would be complaining like this?
These shows would be a lot more interesting. I'm sorry, dude. I can't read. I can't read. The letters are talking to me.
The letters are talking to me, and My Little Pony fan fiction's fucking Hello Kitty. Oh my god, the gambler has arrived, and the up phone boost of fucking Jesus Christ staring directly into my soul with 100mm bullets.
See, if you did LSD, I think I'd just like not do a show and just leave you there to rant and drool on yourself.
Just or either that, or I'd just be sitting there laughing at the stereo.
And then you message me in the morning. Didn't we have the most amazing conversation about life on this last episode of Swine Brothers? And I just sent you a link, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
And we just laughed at the stereo. A year later, he had moved on to the now defunct The Hobbit: Kingdoms of Middle-earth. Released in 2013, the smartphone game. Oh, you're playing smartphone games. No wonder you're such a loser.
That sounds like an anal cunt song. You play smartphone games.
Yeah. The smartphone game was notorious for its repetitive grind and pay-to-win microtransactions. In it, players built up a city by harvesting resources, buying armies, and earning upgrades like so many other cell phone games. Warcraft did it better. Just play Warcraft 1 or 2, or maybe even 3. I haven't played 3, but I know 1 and 2 with all the expansions. That's good shit.
Or play Pathfinder.
Mm-hmm. Glittering prizes, motherfucker. If you really need the help, glittering prizes.
Holocausting your own tribe.
IDDQD.
What?
IDKFA. I'd kill for ammo.
Oh, yes.
To make their units better, players could progress faster by paying money. Ooh, yeah. Like so many free-to-play games.
Like everything else in the system. Where I was reading in San Francisco, you have to go through all this and all that and all that. Or you could just buy your way onto the ballot to get to be mayor.
Mm-hmm. And seriously, if you haven't realized that that's what they're trying to do, God, is make money, because they gave you the game for free, so now we need money for it. Pay for all this random shit.
Yeah, but I'm stubborn. Like, I'll do anything free. Like, I'll do the bare bones. And if I have to work obscenely hard for something to get an upgrade rather than pay for it, like Metal Tracker, it took me 3 years to not have the waiting list, because you download the torrent, and before that, it took you to a page where you had to wait a minute. And it literally took me 2 years to get to the point where I didn't have to wait any longer because I didn't want to pay.
That's the spirit.
Fuck yeah, well, I'm cheap but don't have any money.
Because this guy's just got money, okay? Money that I can't even imagine. And he's complaining that he uses the money poorly, that he needs other people to tell him how to use the money, instead of, being like a poor, broke bastard like myself asking, can I afford this? No. Okay.
You know how much music I get usually, so that's, 4 or 5 hours of my life wasted just waiting for this goddamn thing to say I could download it. All because I didn't want to pay $2 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I worked for my shit.
Which was incentivized by the game's competitive aspect. Ooh, wow, we're gonna blame the competitiveness of people for making people that have money spend their money stupidly.
Yes.
Players could launch attacks on one another's cities, making the power of their defenses and armies matter not just of pride but survival. Yay! So you just kept spending money that, like, you got more of than I've ever seen.
Yeah, pretty much. And now you're complaining about it because you didn't understand how to stop.
Yeah, because you had the money to blow, and it didn't hurt you as badly as spending even $20 would hurt me.
Well, maybe you didn't have the money to blow. Maybe you were just an idiot.
Well, either way, he's just an idiot. In order to protect their own resources from getting looted by other players, buying Mithril, Kingdoms of Middle Earth's in currency was a must. In-game currency. It was part of what got the game trashed by reviewers. Yes, it would get trashed by reviewers because you got to pay for game functions.
Which I agree, it should be trashed by reviewers.
I had set a precedent in those mobile games that $100 isn't all that much. Really? So you had $100 to blow on random crap on a cell phone game. I could have
used that 100.
I blew about $500 on The Sims, but that shit's backed up. I can play that anytime I reboot it on a new hard drive. And
I could use that 100 to go see.
One time I win thing. It's like, oh, I got a bunch of things I could throw in a house on a game. And this was over the period that I was dating my fucking ex-girlfriend who was really into The Sims, but now I have all The Sims.
I could use that 100 to go see Coven in February.
Yes, I'd like to do that. That's what I blow my money on.
Or Slayer's Final Tour.
Oh, yeah. Ken's Gold guesses that the players at the top of Kingdoms of Middle Earth's leaderboard spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to stay there, even sending Google Pay cards to other players in their guilds to help boost the strength of their overall teams. Well, that's what you call having a shit ton of money and nothing to do with it.
Yeah, right. Why not give it to us?
Yeah.
Give me your fucking money.
I'd actually be able to fucking afford food.
Yeah. And, all that shit.
Mm-hmm. As a result of these whales, the gaming industry's term for individual players who contribute a disproportionate amount of the game's microtransaction revenue. Other players who wanted the chance to be competitive would have to spend as much as they could as often as possible.
Well, yeah. That's how those shitty games work.
In Ken's Gold's case, that meant hundreds of dollars a month. And if you could afford that much on a fucking shitty mobile game,
I like iRacing.
I have no sympathy for you.
iRacing is a racing simulator, and you pay a flat fee, and you do get discount, but the fee doesn't go up as your experience goes up. You pay a flat fee, and you basically you have to earn your way through the rankings and get the top cars or whatever. But there's no now that you're in the world championship, you have to pay more. You get the same fee as everyone else does, and you can even get discounts if you play a lot.
And just to put this back in perspective, yes, I did spend a few $100s on the fucking shit for The Sims 3, but at the same token, I could afford it then. I was working a good enough job where I could afford it. I was living in a situation where I could afford it. So, do you hear me saying, oh my God, it was so evil. They made me pay for shit that I willingly paid for to get on a game?
No, but that's not $13,000.
Yeah, but over the course of years.
Well, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's still pretty extreme.
Yeah, but if he had it to waste, that was his own stupidity.
I don't think he did have it to waste. That's
In
the
the
thing. I
summer
don't
of
think he did it.
2015, he spent around $800 in Kingdoms of Middle. Then how the hell could he afford keeping his cell phone up? He's blowing this money left and right.
maybe he fucking lives in a cardboard box.
Luxury.
He does kind of sound like someone who.
He's got the money to spend, and he's just bitching it. Over the course of that entire year, thanks to that and other microtransaction-heavy games like Clash of Kings and Age of Warring Empire, he spent $4,116.
Meanwhile, I have photography people who have to download fucking bootleg copies of Photoshop because they can't afford real Photoshop.
It never feels like you're making a good decision when you spend $100, he said. But at the time, I was like, what else am I going to spend it on? Right there, that proves it. He had nothing else to spend it on. Why not?
How about saving it away for...
Which is what I should have done with my Sims 3 transactions, but guess what? I'm not complaining I blew all that money.
Fucking... Yeah, well... Yeah, well... I've blown money before, so there you go.
Hell, I blew money on drugs.
So much drugs. Well, I never had to blow money on drugs because people were nice enough to, hey, I have an idea, dude. What's that? Let's get the blind man.
Listen to this. There weren't really any repercussions to enforce, like, you idiot, stop. Meaning he had the money to blow. If there was a repercussion, like he would lose his rental, he would have stopped long before this.
I never really had to pay for drugs because people thought it would be funny to feed the blind guy a dusted joint. Which
I would have done that. I would have so done that. I would have fed you so much acid you'd probably be perma-tripping to this day, because I would have got it in my weird mind that I would make you eat enough acid that you would actually see what I was seeing.
And of course, that includes my loving girlfriend Allison at the time, who decided that her and Puke decided that it would be their mission to get me completely fucked up. And then they were so surprised when I went overboard.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be like, eat another one. Eat another one or I'll kill you. Eat another one.
Finally, it was like, okay, maybe drinking a whole bottle of whiskey and 3 big gulps and then 6 beers is not a good idea. Put it down. Put it down.
Here, have some of this PCP.
Okay.
At the time, Ken Gold was a sophomore in high school with no car and a part-time job at Panera. See no fucking consequences. Of the $300 to $400 paycheck he received every 2 weeks, he reckons he spent about 90% of it on in-app purchases on his crappy little cell phone game.
Well, yeah, because he lives in a fucking house with his parents. But I know people who were kicked out of their house by their fucking sophomore year.
His grandparents started to worry about it, and his mom tried to shut off their internet to stop him from playing. But with a smartphone and a 3G connection, circumventing those obstacles was way too easy.
How about just beating
the shit out of him? He even got a second job to fuel his addiction.
How about just beating the shit out of him?
And I'm going to complain about it. Boo-hoo.
Okay,
microtransactions are a shitty thing to put in games, okay? But at the same time, if you're dumb enough to fall for it, fuck you. Go back to your fucking vampire wars.
I mean, but why? If your parents, you know, why didn't they just beat the shit out of them?
Really?
I mean, that's what I would have done.
A list of Ken's Gold bank transactions for the last 3 years shows just over 10 grand in debit payments to places including Steam, Google Play, and Blizzard.
Meanwhile,
Debit,
my
not
transactions, I spend much less than that on races, and I'm broke because it's either go to races or go to concerts. And well, I love to go to concerts, but I might miss that big race, and I
also
like going to races.
also the key word here is debit payments, meaning that he didn't go into credit card debt.
Yeah,
Where you're spending money you don't have. He was only spending money he had.
yeah.
Hmm.
I didn't know Panera's fucking pizza gives you that much. I think it's a pizza place.
What ultimately threw Ken's gold off Kingdoms of Middle Earth wasn't a dramatic intervention by his friends and family.
Where they where they
You
walked
play
in,
too much of this game. Fuck you.
where they walked him in, tied down. If you touch that game again, I'm gonna beat you to death.
No, they just hacked off his hands. So now you have to play with your nose if you want to. Because we removed your arms as well. We just kept going because you kept finding new ways to do it. So fuck it. We took all your limbs. Now you're just a torso and head.
Oh, and if you try to play the game again, I'll also beat you to death.
The game's developer, Kabam, sold it off to a Chinese company in January 2016. The company proceeded to make changes to the game that drove fans to abandon it en masse, according to Gens Gold. With most of his in-game friends gone, he had no more incentive to keep buying upgrades and competing. Instead, his high school friends started to get into PC gaming. Gens Gold saved up to buy a computer, and by his junior year had moved from spending money on smartphone games to spending on microtransaction games like Smite and Counter-Strike Global Offensive,
Well, at least he's upgrading.
which let you pay real money on cosmetic items for characters. Gee, just like I did for The Sims, and I'm not bitching.
Well, yeah, but you would be today.
What do you mean I would be today? I'm still not bitching. I'm just
No, I
talking.
mean if you were doing The Sims today and you had to do microtransactions.
Well, there's a reason I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
I don't have the money anymore.
yeah.
At
And
the
I
height of his interest in Smite, Ken Gold said he owned over 300 of the game's character skins, but those skins were purely cosmetic and they had no effect on gameplay.
see, my friend had the Sim shit, but he got most of his shit for free through illegal means. So, you know,
That's perfectly
that's
legitimate in my book, but I paid real money on it. That was my own doing.
oh
Well,
yes, but he was sort of in your position. So, I mean, your position today. So, but he wanted to play The Sims, so he did what he had to do.
yeah, whatever. After spending all that money just to stay competitive in Kingdoms of Middle Earth, why did he feel the drive to spend money on games he could otherwise enjoy for nearly free?
See, that's the thing about iRacing. Yes, it's charged, but it's a flat rate. The only thing about iRacing is it eats the fuck out of your time because you have to spend a lot of time racing to obviously be competitive. Duh. But it doesn't eat your money. It just, like I said, it eats all your free time.
I think it stems from the fact that I'd set a precedent in all those mobile games that $100 isn't all that much.
But then again, I've spent 6 hours with you playing Fallout, so
Yeah, it's not a really big deal if I see that skin and I really want it because it looks awesome. And if I just drop $100, I'm pretty much guaranteed to get that kind of thing.
well, no,
Yeah,
I'd start looking for cheat codes personally. I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure. But
shit, I got shit I've never used in The Sims that I bought just because I thought the girlfriend would like it, and she
see,
never used it, and I'm
I
not sitting
just,
there cursing myself over it.
I just started looking for fucking ways to get it illegally.
Yeah, he'd see a friend playing a character in a costume that he didn't have, and immediately felt the urge to spend the 10, 20, or 50 to get it. See, that's
fifty
what we
dollars for a costume.
in a game. Yep.
The things I could do with $50.
Uh-huh. when you're about to click the button going, do you agree to spend $100? You don't really get the feeling that low kind of gut punch that I get now because you realized it was dumb doing this.
I'm also on
And
Audible,
even
which
though
is
I say it wasn't dumb me doing it, because I did get a lot of enjoyment out of that shit, you know what? Fuck it. Money is gone. Can't get it back. Fuck it.
well, I mean, I'm also on Audible, which charges you a flat rate and gives you a credit every month for a book. So that's pretty damn cool. But
Yeah.
now here I'm hoping I can get enough money to go see Coven in February.
Ken Skull doesn't play Smite or Counter Strike Go anymore. After finally talking with his therapist,
You want a therapist to realize you're a fucking moron?
spending more money. Mm-hmm. I had to
Well,
spend money to realize
that's
that
the thing.
spending money was the problem.
Scott was talking about a therapist. It's like, well, first of all, they never helped me. Second of all, I wish I had the money to spend on a therapist.
If I did, I'd just get more drugs.
School made me see a therapist from the time I was 6 to when I was 17, and well, you see what I am today.
Yeah, they made
I
you a lot
remember
worse.
I
Thank you.
remember coming into therapy and having to hide the fact that I was like hanging out with my puke friends, so I was completely drunk and high. No, I'm good. How are you today? Just talking all slow.
Ken's Gold made a decision to stop gambling with Counter-Strike skins and liquidate his collection, put the remaining money back into his bank account, and begin moving down a different path, which required him to sell all the crap he... How the hell do you sell that crap? Really?
Probably in games.
He sold the crap that he had, so therefore, what's the problem here? And there is no repercussion now.
I mean, I'm guessing it's just someone. I mean, you've never been obsessed. I mean, I've been obsessed with things that suck money away and stuff. I just think it's a little excessive because I thought $200 was a lot of money when I was 16, and so, well, I spent $200 on drugs. I'm not doing that again.
And then you do it again.
Well, no, I didn't have to ever because friends, free drugs. Let's see what happens when the blind guy smokes PCP.
Yeah. One in which he tried to keep microtransactions and in-game purchases at arm's length. Wow, yay. He's decided to not spend money on crap that he's bitching about spending money on.
Why not just play a game that doesn't have in-game microtransactions?
Or if it does, why the hell complain about it? Because it was your own choice. You're trying to make it sound like you need someone to tell you not to do things.
Or why not?
You want the government to come in and tell you, stop spending money on microtransactions.
Or, if it has microtransactions, go on the internet and find a way to get what you want a different way. And
I
there's
mean, do you really want cops kicking down your door, pointing a gun to your head to say, please stop paying money on these microtransactions?
I'm trying to give good advice to the youth here, Jim. Go see if there's a way you can get the thing. I mean, there's got to be some weird cheat code or some fucking odd way to get it without spending any money on it. So, if you can find it, go do it. Not that
And
I'm
if you're going to
endorsing.
spend the money on it, fuck it. You had your fun. Enjoy.
Yes, but you also have to face the consequences, which is you don't have the money on it anymore.
I had to get up the nerve to ask for help. Oh, to get a therapist to lay it all out for me. Like,
but see, if
you're doing, this is how you can help yourself. Here's the tools to help you. Start masturbating. It's a lot healthier.
Well, see, if you were telling me you were spending $600 on The Sims, I'd probably tell you you're being a fucking idiot. But hey,
yeah, and I'd accept the fact I was being an idiot because that's what I was doing, and you know what? I still had fun with it.
But then again, if I told you how much I spent on races,
it's a waste of money, even though other people will. I don't.
But then again, if I told you how much I spent on races, you'd tell me I was a fucking idiot, and I am, and I know I'm wasting money. But hey, I like racing.
Yeah, there you go. That was enough to help them turn things around. You don't really expect it to help you as much as it does. Playing with yourself and throwing semen on people.
He magically turned into semen thrower man.
The original post on Reddit was his way of trying to share that realization with other people. The debate around loot boxes and microtransactions has a tendency to focus on the feud between faceless corporations and nameless masses of fans, and it did in the case of Battlefront 2. For Ken's Gold, though, the issue is much more personal and has to do with the population of people like him, whales, for whom microtransactions have become addictive. Aww.
That's really sad.
Yes,
Spend your money on LSD.
Spend your money on meat. Just give it to me and you'll get the same effect.
Spend your money on LSD, then play Fallout New Vegas.
There we go.
This super mutant's talking to me, telling me to join him.
Well, the majority of the reason that I made my post was not to really slam EA or any of the companies that do this, but to share my story that these transactions are not as innocent as they really appear to be. They can lead you down a path. It's not like buying a stick of gum at the store.
But they don't appear to be innocent at all.
Well, first you start buying gum, and the next thing you're eating LSD.
Don't do gum, kids.
Mm-hmm.
Gum leads. It's sort of like, but those things aren't really innocent. I mean, if a game asks for my money, I'm fucking no. You can't have it.
For that reason, Ken's Gold sometimes has to tell his friends he can't play certain games with him.
I can't play games with you. My mom said no.
Like Black Desert Online.
It's African American desert.
Yep. As the backlash against in-game purchases has grown, it's become easier to explain his aversion to these types of games. But for a while, it was difficult to tell your friends that you can't play with them just because of the way the game is implemented.
Wait, but I say that a lot. For example, yeah, I'm not going to join you with that because I think it's fucking stupid. Bye.
Yeah, you go ahead and enjoy your criminal charges.
Or like someone was posting a band called the Kennedy Vale, and before I actually heard them, so their records pretty good. I was like, this band sounds like death. This name sounds like deathcore. But I have no problem. I mean, like I remember that they were playing this fucking game, and I just told them I did not like the design of the game, so I'm not going to fucking play it. What's the big problem?
Yeah, despite all the money he's spent and all the long hours he worked to earn it in the first place, Ken's Gold hasn't been able to quit in-game purchases completely. He's played in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds since the beta, but having collected most of the game's loot crate items before the developers began selling them for real money, he's managed not to fall into that game's trap. In the end, it's really just about being aware of his vulnerability and doing his best not to ever let it get that bad again.
Why didn't they just beat him to death?
I should make microtransactions for myself.
You should make microtransactions for Swine Brothers. Okay, if you want to listen to more of this, you have to give us $50.
No, if you want us to shut up for 5 minutes, you'll give us $50.
If you want us to shut up forever, give us $1 million.
No, it's got to be more than $1 million.
No, a million each.
$1 billion.
Yeah, well, we might. Somebody might actually give us $1 million. Some really rich guy, so you might just want to settle with $1 million.
But after taxes, you're left with $5.
Well, these are under the table, so you know.
It's also about making sure that other fans and potential whales are kept aware that they are fucking stupid. If more people realize how destructive microtransactions can be, Ken's Golds think that it'll help others from dropping thousands of dollars on digital power-ups and cosmetics.
Yeah, you don't think I would have like the donations, about taxed, right? Oh no, it'd be totally under the table criminal shit.
There we go.
Yeah, someone just would send us $1 million, we'd shut up forever.
And small unmarked bills.
Small unmarked bills with cocaine.
Cocaine. It's not just a one-time purchase. It never is.
like cocaine.
And you're trying to make us feel bad for this guy when I just point and laugh. And I remember my own stupidity. And I don't really complain about my own stupidity because I was stupid.
I don't feel bad. Like I said, I drive 300 miles to go see a fucking car race. So there you go.
Oh, well, I think that's all we're going to do today because that was long.
That was, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did.
This has been the Swine Brothers Show, episode 137 for the 20s, whatever, of January 2018. I always forget the date. I'm a fucking idiot. You can email the idiot at cosmicgodsdie at gmail.com. Facebook for the idiot is Swine Brothers, and Twitter's Swine Bros 666. For the gym, I am the idiot. We'll see you later.
If I go crazy, then will you still worship me as God? If I fuck your bub, will you declare all life to be fraud?